So you're terrible at online networking and your LinkedIn DMs sound like a desperate robot trying to make friends? Don't worry. I've got the solution for you. For the past 6 months, I've been diving deep into the world of online networking, studying how the most connected people in business build relationships that actually matter. You clicking on this video means you know networking matters, but you're probably doing it all wrong. That's actually great news because most people are. And once you learn what I'm about to teach you, you'll have a massive advantage. The biggest mistake people make, they treat online networking like they're collecting Pokemon cards instead of building actual relationships. Let me paint you a picture. You know that person who slides into your LinkedIn DMs with, "Hi, I saw your profile and would love to connect to discuss potential opportunities?" Yeah, that's basically the networking equivalent of walking up to someone at a coffee shop and immediately asking them to marry you. It's weird. It's desperate, and it makes people want to run away faster than you can say synergy. Let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah was a marketing coordinator who was stuck in the same role for 3 years. She was talented, hardworking, but completely invisible online. Her LinkedIn looked like a digital graveyard, and her networking attempts were about as effective as using a chocolate teapot. Fast forward 6 months after she implemented what I'm about to teach you, she landed a senior marketing manager role at a Fortune 500 company, all because of one relationship she built online. Stick around because I'm going to show you exactly how she did it. After analyzing hundreds of successful online networking conversations, I discovered a pattern. The people who build amazing connections online follow what I call the SPARK framework. S is specific research. P is personal connection. A is add value first. R is relevant ask. K is keep it conversational. Let me break this down with real examples that actually work. S, specific research. The Sherlock Holmes approach. Remember Sarah I mentioned earlier? Here's what she did wrong initially. She would send messages like, "I love your work in marketing." Generic, boring, forgettable. It's like telling Gordon Ramsay, "I love your cooking." Technically true, but shows zero effort. Instead, Sarah learned to do what I call digital detective work. She would spend 10 minutes researching each person she wanted to connect with. She'd look at their recent posts, company news, mutual connections, and even check if they'd been featured in any articles or podcasts. For example, when she reached out to a marketing director at a tech startup instead of the generic approach, she wrote, "I noticed your recent post about the 300% increase in engagement you achieved with that interactive video campaign for the fintech client. The way you leveraged user-generated content in the second phase was brilliant. I've never seen that approach applied to B2B before. See the difference?" She showed she actually paid attention. She demonstrated knowledge of his work and added a specific observation. This message got a response within 2 hours. Here's your homework. Before reaching out to anyone, spend at least 10 minutes researching them. Look for recent achievements, interesting posts, shared connections, or unique aspects of their career journey. If you can't find something specific and interesting to mention, don't reach out yet. P, personal connection. Find your common ground. Humans are tribal creatures. We connect with people who are like us or who we perceive as being in our tribe. Online, you need to actively create this sense of connection because it doesn't happen naturally. This doesn't mean you need to stalk someone's Instagram and comment on their dog photos. Please don't do that. It means finding legitimate professional or personal connections you can mention authentically. Let me give you a real example. A guy named Marcus wanted to connect with a senior executive at Microsoft. Instead of leading with what he wanted, he noticed they both went to the University of Michigan and had both worked at startups before joining larger companies. His opening message mentioned this shared experience. "I saw we're both Michigan alumni who made the leap from startup life to enterprise. The transition from wearing 12 different hats to focusing on one role was quite the adjustment for me. I'm curious about your experience making that shift at Microsoft." The executive not only responded, but ended up having a 45-minute video call with Marcus 2 weeks later. Why? Because Marcus had found authentic common ground and asked about the other person's experience rather than immediately pitching himself. Look for shared experiences like same university or educational background, similar career transitions, mutual connections who could provide context, shared interests in specific industries or technologies, similar challenges they've publicly discussed. A, add value. First, the giver's gain principle. This is where most people get it backwards. They reach out asking for something instead of offering something. It's like showing up to a potluck empty-handed and immediately loading up your plate. Technically possible, but you're going to get some side-eye. Adam Grant talks about this in his book, Give and Take. The most successful networkers are givers who add value to others before asking for anything in return. Online, this principle is even more important because trust takes longer to build through a screen. Here's how Sarah mastered this. Instead of asking for job opportunities, she started sharing valuable resources with her network. When she reached out to that marketing director, she didn't just compliment his campaign. She shared a case study from a company that had used a similar approach in the healthcare industry, along with specific metrics and lessons learned. Her message continued, "I came across this case study from Philips Healthcare, where they applied a similar interactive video strategy and saw a 450% increase in qualified leads. The way they adapted it for a more regulated industry might be interesting for your upcoming campaigns. Happy to share the full report if you'd find it useful." The result? Not only did he want the report, but he also asked her thoughts on applying it to their upcoming product launch. 3 months later, when a position opened up on his team, guess who he thought of first? Here are some ways to add value in your initial outreach. Share relevant industry insights or reports. Make valuable introductions to people in your network. Offer to beta test their product or provide feedback. Share relevant job opportunities you've seen, even if they're not looking. Provide feedback on their recent content or projects. R. Relevant ask, the Goldilocks principle. When you do make an ask, it needs to be just right. Not too big, not too small, but perfectly suited to where you are in the relationship. Most people either ask for too much too soon, "Can you get me a job?" or too little, "Can we connect?" The key is what I call progressive asks. Start small and specific, then build up as the relationship develops. Your first ask should be something that's easy for them to say yes to and doesn't require much effort on their part. Good first asks include, "Would you be open to a 15-minute coffee chat about trends in the industry? I'd love to hear your thoughts on specific topic related to their expertise. Would you mind if I sent you a couple of questions about your experience with specific challenge?" Bad first asks include, "Can you help me get a job at your company? Would you be my mentor? Can you introduce me to your CEO?" K. Keep it conversational, the human touch. This might be the most important part, and it's where most people sound like robots. Your messages should read like you're talking to a friend at a coffee shop, not submitting a formal business proposal. Compare these two approaches. Robot version. "Dear Mr. Johnson, I hope this message finds you well. I am writing to inquire about potential opportunities in your organization and would appreciate the chance to discuss my qualifications with you at your earliest convenience." Human version. "Hey David, I've been following your work on sustainable packaging at Unilever, and I'm genuinely impressed by the impact you're making. The 40% reduction in plastic waste you achieved last quarter is exactly the kind of innovation the industry needs. I'd love to learn more about how you're approaching these challenges. Would you be up for a quick chat sometime?" See the difference? The second one sounds like a real person who's genuinely interested in a conversation, not a transaction. Here's where most people drop the ball. They send one message, get no response, and give up. Or worse, they send the same message again a week later like some kind of networking zombie. Successful follow-up is an art form. Here's the formula I've seen work consistently. First follow-up, 1 week later. Add new value or insight. "Hi, I know you're probably swamped, but I came across this article about relevant topic and immediately thought of our previous conversation about specific topic. The data on specific point might be interesting for your upcoming project. No need to respond, just wanted to share in case it's helpful." Second follow-up, 2 weeks later. Acknowledge they're busy and make it easy. "Hi, I'm sure your inbox is chaos, aren't they all? So I'll keep this brief. I'm still interested in learning about your experience with specific topic, but totally understand if now isn't the right time. If it ever makes sense to chat, I'm here. If not, no worries at all. I'll keep following your work and cheering from the sidelines." This approach works because it acknowledges their reality. Being busy removes pressure, shows genuine interest in their work, gives them an easy out. Want to see real results? Here's your challenge for the next 30 days. Week 1, research and connect with 5 people using the Spark framework. Week 2, share 2 pieces of valuable content and engage meaningfully with 10 posts. Week 3, follow up with your new connections and make 2 valuable introductions. Week 4, attend 1 virtual industry event and follow up with 3 people you met. By the end of 30 days, you'll have 15+ new professional connections, established yourself as someone who adds value, and developed the habits that separate networking pros from networking pretenders. The beautiful thing about online networking is that it scales. Every connection can potentially connect you to their network, every piece of content you share can be seen by hundreds of people, and every valuable interaction builds your reputation as someone worth knowing. So there you have it, everything you need to build connections that actually matter in our digital world. The strategies I've shared aren't theoretical, they're battle-tested approaches that have helped hundreds of people land dream jobs, start successful businesses, and build careers they love. Stop treating networking like a necessary evil and start treating it like what it really is, the foundation of every successful career. Your future self will thank you for every relationship you build today. And if this video helped you level up your networking game, smash that subscribe button because we've got more career-changing content coming your way. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's next. Now get out there and start building those connections. The world is waiting to meet you.